Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're going to be talking about Fulgrim, Daemon Primarch of the Emperor's Children. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Kneel before the immaculate form of Fulgrim, Daemon Primarch of Slaanesh. Something has been communicating over the past 6 weeks on Warhammer Community. The ecstatic epistle simply appeared in the schedule one day, dispatching renders and revelations of perfect pauldrons, hedonistic helmets, and artisan weapons, delighting and tantalizing us in turn. The source of all this ecstasy has now made itself known from the Empyrean, and we can gaze upon the beatific radiance of the 6th Primarch to return to the 41st millennia. What an auspicious number that is. Alright, so we have the 6th Primarch to come back to Warhammer 40,000, Fulgrim, Daemon Prince of Slaanesh of the Emperor's Children. So we have so far 2 Loyalist Primarchs and 4 Daemon Primarchs. And you guys know, obviously, I have been waiting for literally decades to rebuild my Emperor's Children army, waiting edition after edition, hoping that eventually they would redo the Emperor's Children. And now it is finally time, and to tell you the truth, I think this is going to be my army of 2025. Going to be doing all types of content on it as I build it up. I was already considering this taking over, putting the Loyalist Space Marines to the side, setting aside the Death Watch, and moving in, leaning in hard on the Emperor's Children. But this is obviously a sign from the gods, the Chaos Gods, that it is time to embrace the Emperor's Children. Alright, so we have our first official looks at the Emperor's Children new Primarch Fulgrim. And honestly, I was discussing this. Obviously, we've seen some of the stuff shown off for the Emperor's Children, and all I said was, if it even looks remotely close to the one that came out from forgeworld for 30k, I'd be happy with it. So let's take a look. Alright, so the detail on this is phenomenal. It definitely has beautiful, beautiful scales, wings, lots of Slaaneshi designs, flayed flesh. We've got the pincer tail. We've got the 4 arms. Oh, this is everything and more. Fulgrim Daemon Primarch, and beautiful, beautiful detail on this. Really, really nice looking horns, hair, fur. We've got the cape. Oh yeah, this is top freaking notch. And this really holds up. I mean, it is right in line with the other Daemon Primarchs, right in line with the other 40k Primarchs. He is perfect. Fulgrim has arrived in all his terrible glory and magnificence. Alright, so this is absolutely phenomenal. First off, the actual paint job on this is top notch, but very, very cool. So we see the 3 different blades, and then of course the open claw hand as well. We have beautiful, beautiful wings. We've got the horns, we've got the hair. Really, really nice kind of like tilt shield equivalent right here. And then we have all kinds of amazing like armor detailed, as well as like the serpentine shape. Beautiful cloak, really, really nice model right here. This definitely lines up with the other Primarchs, and I'm guessing by the size we don't really see a comparison, but this looks big. So the Loyalist Primarchs are definitely much, much bigger than a Space Marine, and representative of this we see the 40k models in Lionel Johnson and also Guilliman, but the Daemon Primarchs are substantially bigger. Mortarion, Magnus, and Angron are all huge. Now, obviously, they're shaped differently based on like the lore and how they look in their demonic ascension. So I'm expecting that Fulgrim also is on the same size base and is also huge. The wingspan on him is really, really nice. The overall detail here is beautiful. I am massively impressed by this. And obviously, this is like the final form of Fulgrim. So back in the day, the Primarchs looked much different during like the 30k years and the Horus Heresy. But over time, over the last 10,000 years, throughout the 40k evolution and storyline progressing, the Daemon Primarchs have slowly but surely been transformed, transfigured into a much more demonic form. We saw this with Mortarion, we saw this with Magnus, we saw it with Angron, and now once again we are seeing the trend continue with Fulgrim, and I am all for it. The Daemon Primarch of Slaanesh is a grotesque manifestation of the great fall of the once noble Emperor's Children. The Legion once earned their favor of the Emperor himself and had an honor of wearing his personal sigil, the Palatine Aquila. That, though, is all ancient history, and now only depravity and pain remain. As the most prideful of his brothers, Fulgrim siding with the War Master Horus and drinking deep the promises of power from the Dark Gods was perhaps always inevitable. Already a masterful duelist and warrior of keen talent, his loyalty to Slaanesh was rewarded with 4-armed serpentine form and power beyond mortal ken. Alright, so here we see one of the few demonic pictures of Fulgrim in his current form. So there's tons of art of him like back in the day, before his ascension. And then of course we have some limited art also of like his new form. And I think the model really stands up and just looks beautiful. Definitely very, very similar to the art. Keeping up with the overall look, style, and lore. Very, very nice. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, CMO Games. CMO Games carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, paint, terrain, tools, and more. They take pre-orders for most Games Workshop new releases as early as possible, usually 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. CMO Games offers 15% off of MSRP for most all Games Workshop products and offer fast free shipping to the continental United States on orders over $50. Most orders ship out within 24 hours. You know their customer service is top-notch as they've been selling games online for over 20 years. Use the affiliate link below and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. His panoply shifts according to his whims. At times his arms end in monstrous talons or perhaps gilded gauntlets. Though his form is rarely fixed, he nevertheless favors the ostentatious and intricate and enters battle covered in kaleidoscopic raiment of serrated scales, perfumed skulls, glimmering jewels, and polished metals and flayed skin, all silhouetted by vast demonic wings which bear him aloft. Alright, so here we see a little bit more of the detail, and I absolutely love the texture on the wings, the deep recesses and crisp lines, and then also on the cloak as well. We see everything from really nice veins on the muscles of his arms, intricate detail on the swords, beautiful armor, the flayed flesh, the gems, the Slaanesh symbol, really nice. And then we see on the back picture as well, a little bit of the hair detail, and then also not only the actual wings themselves, but a little bit of the remaining power pack from your typical Space Marine or Primarch, kind of blended in with the overall look and style. So really nice blend of flesh, armor, and immaculate detail. Some of his weapons are manifestations of Fulgrim's sheer will. Others are trophies taken from worthy opponents, though some have spotted a heavy but relatively plain broadsword amongst his ever-rotating armory. So obviously a little bit of a throwback to some of the lore there. Here we can see on the serpentine kind of tail, the various different scales and spikes, the actual claw tip on the actual tail itself, the horns on Fulgrim's head. This is just top notch. I am absolutely in awe of this. Super excited to paint this up. And already this is my nomination for Miniature of the Year 2025. Beautiful Daemon Primarch Fulgrim. Absolutely outstanding. Those of the Emperor's children who have been lucky enough to observe Fulgrim wield this fine but unadorned blade with quicksilver speed say that it bears a great resemblance to a weapon once given to him by someone of great importance many millennia past. Fulgrim comes with 5 different heads, 1 helmeted, and 4 permitting you a choice of expressions from furious contempt to withering arrogance. Okay, so very cool. We see 4 different head options for Fulgrim. So we see 3 of the different bear heads, so 4 total to choose from. Some different little facial expressions. Overall, very similar, just the actual face itself changing. And then we see 1 with more of a traditional Emperor's Children mask. Really nice. Definitely a fan of these. And even if 1 or 2 don't specifically jump out at you, I think the helmeted option and then at least 1 of the bare-face heads is going to definitely be suitable for anyone looking to paint this guy up. The latest version of the demonic third Primarch joins his brothers Magnus, Mortarion, and Angron as a plastic kit. Just like them, he appears corrupted by 10,000 years of exposure to the warp. The difference between his new form and the Fulgrim transfigured miniature from the Horus Heresy shows the effect the Empyrean can have on even the most willing of demonic tyrants. Such a grandiose figure is in need of an army, and the Emperor's children still worship and idolize their inconsistent, capricious, and ultimately cruel master. What will the new year bring? So very cool, super exciting, definitely really pumped for the new Emperor's Children, and I will be going all in on this army. This will be my competitive army for Warhammer 40,000 2025 year. A brand new army that I'm starting from scratch, a new revision to one that I had gotten rid of decades ago in anticipation that one day we would see the Emperor's Children redone. And I didn't think it was going to take this long. With each crowning edition, I got super excited for it, and now the time is finally here. So let me know if you are excited for the Emperor's Children, if you're going to be going all in on the new Emperor's Children army in 2025. I know I definitely am. I hope that it's not too far down the line. I'm probably going to be playing something else in the early months of the edition, but as soon as the Emperor's Children get their new codex, as soon as they get their new model range, I will be 100% embracing Slaanesh, at least on the tabletop. I can personally say that I think this is a 10 out of 10, absolutely a beautiful representation of Fulgrim. The model itself is perfect. And while 2024 was a little bit lacking in the 40k, especially centerpiece models, this is an amazing start to 2025. We've already seen previews of the upcoming Krieg models, the Eldari, and now the Slaanesh as well, the Emperor's Children. And I've got to say that this may be the best year ever for Warhammer 40k. So let me know if you're excited for Fulgrim, if you're looking forward to the Emperor's Children or one of the other new armies. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products. And make sure to tell them that Warhammer Man sent you. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I can barely contain my excitement. And I'm out of here.